So what's going down, guys? Welcome back to J Will Trap TV. It's your boy J Will. Today we are recapping season 2, episode 4, Pay the Toll, guys. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and put a notification bell so you know when I get live. All right, guys, let's jump right in. Okay, guys, with scene 1, we're moving to New Jersey. We got a truck. We're driving over a bridge. Next thing you know, we got a guy, he walks into the street, and we're driving with a random guy. We don't got Marvin or anybody. This is a random Thomas associate, okay? So we come to a stop. Some dude walks out in the street. We've never seen this guy before. He's a white guy. He's like tying his shoe or something. Next thing you know, he pulls out a shotgun. Boom, there's an ambush. They come out, they beat up our guy, and they let him know that nothing can come into Newark without Paul Boselli getting his cut. So these guys, it sounds like there's some Italians or something, and they're pretty much protecting their territory, letting Rock's organization know that they cannot transport drugs into New Jersey without getting a cut. Thomas guy is left bloody, and we end the scene. Our next scene, we have Rock and Cartier, and it looks like they're in an art gallery. Cartier's all talking fancy to Rock, and you can tell he's attracted, but she tells him to cut the sweet talk, and she wants to know how he runs his business. Cartier says he's surprised that, a lady of her stature would even, join him and, give him the time. But Rock figures out that Cartier washes his money through the art gallery. So basically, he puts his drug money into the art gallery, buys the art, and then sells the art and gets the money clean. Cartier's impressed that Rock is able to figure this out, and they end the scene. So the next scene, we're at a prison, and it looks like Kanan is going to visit his uncle Vernon, who is DEFCON's real brother, and he is going in to ask him some questions. He goes in to ask him if DEFCON ever talked about him, and Uncle Vernon tells him that, well, he was a baby, so there wasn't really much to say. Kanan asks him, do you think he was really his father? And this kind of pisses him off, and he says, of course he was your father, et cetera, et cetera. And then he gives him some reasons like, hey, this is exactly the way your dad would have came in here to confront me if he had some concerns on whether DEFCON was his father. Uncle Vernon also asks Kanan, is Rock telling you that she was with someone else at the time or something? And Kanan kind of puts that to rest. And I'm not sure, it isn't really clear in the episode, but it kind of, I'm not sure if Uncle Vernon took that information and went and called somebody, because I'll talk about that later, but when Kanan meets with Marvin later, it's kind of mentioned in a weird way. So now we're back at Bulletproof Records, one of my favorite places. You guys, watch that video. I'm telling you, watch that video I just put out. We see Crown and Lou walk into the studio. The whole mixing board is gone, though. The front end board is gone. It's just gone. This is some cables on the floor. And Lou just looks there because obviously he hasn't been told about this decision. And he's like, yo, where's the board? We can't do anything in here without the board. And then Crown's like, oh, I had to sell it to pay some of the expenses around here. I'm in negotiations to get a new one. Don't worry about it. At this point, Lou loses it, grabs him, like pushes him up against the wall, and for a second, it doesn't look good. But then Lou kind of calms down and tells him, hey man, don't piss me off. You should have let me know about this. Now guys, if you look at this, guys, look at this situation. This is why you need to go watch my Sneaky Links video. I'm gonna keep promoting it. Yes. Go watch it. It's gonna be in the description. Guys, I run through this whole thing that's happened, the whole Jessica situation, everything. Check this out. I'm telling you, this is crazy. This dude's gonna die. I got some crazy predictions. Go check it out. Okay, so next scene, we have Marvin and Kanan in the car. And Marvin's like, did you find out what you need to know from your Uncle Vernon? And Kanan's like, but still, he's not really sure. But in the end, Marvin tells Kanan, hey, don't worry about your father. You got your family right here. Your mom loves you. Everybody in this organization loves you. We're all behind you. We're going to make sure you're straight. Kanan still doesn't seem unconvinced, though, about the father situation. We now get Juke, my favorite character. She is ringing the bell at her mother's house, Kenyon's house. She rings the doorbell. Someone answers, and she hesitates, and it seems like she might just walk away. But then she finally says, it's Laverne. It's a sweet moment because she uses her real name. Her mother, the buzzer, buzzes her in. She goes upstairs. Mother invites her in. They talk a little bit. Mom dances around the subjects, asks about Marvin. Juke says that Marvin is Marvin. And then Juke just cuts straight to the chase. She asks her mom why did she leave her behind? Why wasn't she there for her entire life? And I was like, man, okay, let's go. Mom says that she was young. She wasn't sure about Marvin. She was pretty much the same age as Juke when she had her, and she got scared and she ran. She went to LA. She was gonna try to become a famous singer. She always was telling herself in her head that, hey, I'm gonna become famous. I'm gonna make a bunch of money, then I'm gonna come back and get Juke. But things went down bad, stuff kept happening. 10 years later, she looked up and realized 10 years went by and figured it would hurt more for her to come back and try to come back into her life again. But you can also tell that she is extremely strong in her faith, that she says, but now God gave me a second chance for forgiveness, and she's not asking for forgiveness, she's asking for a second chance. And it looks like Juke is gonna give her that. So now we're back in the projects. We're in that room, if you guys remember, back in season 1, I believe Rock killed some dude, and then Marvin had to hide him in a wall. So this place stinks, and they're all spraying here because it's a dead body in the wall. You know, human composing smells really bad. Not that I would know, but it does. Anyway, so they send Kanan into the room, the main closet where this dead dude is. He can't see him, of course, but he doesn't even know what's going on. He's just saying it stinks in there. And they start talking about the Italians, right? And they're saying, hey, we got hit. We need to shut things down. We need to figure out what's going on. And they say, oh, it was these Italians. Meanwhile, Kanan is inside of that room. He goes into the closet. He finds a few shoe boxes. He finds some shoes, but then he goes deeper and then he finds some stacks of cash. He takes a huge stack of cash and tucks it, okay? Takes it off the top. We go back out to the room and they're still talking about the Italians. At this point, Lou wants to press pause on Jersey. He's like, this is not the kind of weight we want. Rock says that he wants to just roll over so he can go back and do his music in the studio. He says, nobody's gonna tell me where to do business. Not these Italians and not you. We now come in at that liquor store at the bodega. Neek comes into the store. Bro, an episode ago, this dude just had this woman at gunpoint. He walks into the store and buys a soda. This lady is trembling. She's so scared. She's like, what do I do? Oh God. She gave him money. He goes like, you can keep the change. It's all business. You know, nothing personal. You know, we at peace. Dude, this lady is freaking out, dude. She like freaks out. Okay, so we got a scene. We have Lou, we got Kanan, and we got Rock. Lou tells Kanan, hey, go to the side so he can talk to his mom real quick. And he tells Rock that he's short on cash and he needs some money. And she's all like, well, you know, my money, you know, your money is my money. So if you need to borrow some money from me, you're borrowing my money to pay me my money. You know, like it's a funny scene. But she says she'll loan the money, but when she calls him, I need you to be on point for this Thomas business. I can't have you up in this studio. I need you now. Like, Rock is not playing about this business. Kanan asks Rock why she wanted him to kill Howard. What were they protecting? You said that you said that he was gonna harm us and you needed me to save you. What was I saving you from? And Rock starts spinning some BS. She says that Howard was gonna give up Kanan for $121 and that she was gonna make him snitch or give him up. So that's why she had to send him in there to kill him, because he could only meet with Kanan. Kanan says that he keeps saying he's his father, and he says he doesn't think that that's what's gonna happen, because, you know, he's been meeting with Howard and Howard's been telling him like, bro, I'm not gonna tell anybody you shot me. So he's kind of like, nah, I don't think that's what's going on here. So this scene kind of ends with Kanan still not sure. You can tell he's very not sure. He doesn't believe what Rock is saying, but Rock is, you know, giving them the basic, hey, this is all for you. We did this, you know, everything, blah, 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 blah. So doesn't end well for that scene. Kanan still seems concerned. So now we come back, we're at Juke's house, and Juke is actually back in her house. As you guys know, she's been staying with Rock ever since she got choked for about 3 months, right? Hasn't been there. So Marvin, she comes in the room, she's getting some clothes. Marvin walks in and the room is really clean. And Juke looked at it for a second and considered it, like, you know, tried to kind of feel it, but then was just like, nope, I don't care. So then Marvin comes in, talks about how he cleaned the room, and she listens for a sec. You know, he says he painted the room, and you can tell he spent a lot of time on this, listens, and then she just dips. So, man, I feel bad for Marvin, but I don't know, man. I don't know how this is gonna get repaired. All right, so now we got our big meeting with the Italianos, the Sopranos, okay? And these guys, they got a real soprano feel, okay? So look, we got Sal Baselli. He walks out the car, he comes up, dude, and he pretty much just throws his bleep around. He just pretty much just comes out, yo, this is my city. You guys came up in here. You guys are up in my towers trying to run these drugs and stuff, but you guys haven't given me my cut. I'm everywhere. You gotta always give me my cut. And Rock is like, well, I didn't see you up in these buildings. You know, you weren't in these buildings. I didn't see you in there. I didn't know you was posted up, so I posted up. And he's like, yo, well, I need a cut. Here it is. Here's my number. Here's my number. He puts it on the piece, like he has like a piece of paper. He hands it to Rock, and before, oh yeah, Lou's like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. we didn't mean to, disrespect your business. But Rock's like, no, she's not going for that. So he gives her the number, and she looks at the number. She doesn't even look at the number. She just throws it on the ground, and she's like, nah, and she walks away, and then they walk away. So when she walks away, the guy's like, hey, I kind of like her, but things are gonna get tough. So they walk away, they have another scene between Rock, Lou, and Marvin. And Marvin and Lou's like, hey man, Rock's like, yo, don't you ever speak for me like that, okay? Why you acting all scared? And Lou's like, hey man, these are these Italians. When they hit us, they're all gonna hit us at the same time. Going after Nick is one thing, but these dudes, they're on a whole nother level. These Italians, they don't play around, And then Rock's like, what do you think, Marvin? Marvin's like, oh, I ain't scared of nobody. So Rock is like, hey, take your head out that music business. We doing this. This is what we're doing. Lou and Marvin walk away, and Lou tells Marvin, yo, you just too scared to say that you don't want to do this. And Marvin's like, nah, bro, I'm not scared of nothing. So things are about to get crazy, guys. These Italians, this is different, man. Y'all have seen The Sopranos. I hope y'all have seen The Sopranos. We don't watch Sopranos on J-Well Trap TV, but they are not to be played with. I'm telling you. Okay, so now we come in on a party, right? We're being famous is throwing a party. A lot of folks here, a lot of, high school level kids here, high school level, whatever. So Famous hops up, he gives a tribute to Kanan, and he says, yo, Kanan got me this spot, right? So, okay, cool. Fame has a spot, he's no longer homeless. Awesome, right? That's great. While they're partying, there's a knock at the door, and it's two women at the door. Kanan answers the door, two women at the door. They're some dark-skinned women, pretty attractive, I would say, I don't look at kids, but what I'm saying is they are, some, yeah, okay, let me just shut up. Anyway, so one woman's name is Kareen and the other woman's name is Palomar. And it turns out that it turns out that they're mother and daughter. And at first Kareen's like, hey, the lady next door in room 402, well, she would call the cops if the music's too loud, so maybe you should turn it down. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then Kanan starts, to flirt with her. And then it turns out that the lady from 402 is Miss Palomar, who's standing right here. So there's like this weird kind of vibe, right? Kareen asks if she can go into this party, and this adult woman lets her daughter go party with some kids who are smoking bud. She can see it. She can see inside the room. But as she walks in, the mom looks at Kanan like she wants it from Kanan. It's super. I don't know what's going on, guys. Okay, so we end that scene there. So now we got Howard. We got Howard back at Howard's house, and he's back. He's having sex with the prostie. He can't keep it up for some reason. He seems there's a lot of stuff on his mind. He tells her that, he has a son, and, he's trying to be there for him, and it's just not working out. And, he tells her that, remember the last episode, she said she would die for her kid. It doesn't matter what she's doing for her job or whatever. He told her that he told Kanan the same thing, and it didn't mean nothing. Kanan didn't care. So she tells him, well, you got to be there for him. You got to show him that you're there for his corner because you haven't been his father. So if you want to show him that you're his father now, you got to do more than just talk. You got to show action. You got to be there for him. So he thinks about that, and when they end the scene. All right, so now we got a scene back at Rock's house. Juke is in the mirror. She got her hair down, girl. Got some pretty hair, girls. I love my dark-skinned women. She has some beautiful hair. Rock comes in, and Rock asks her where Kanan is. And she tells Rock that she's going over to where Kanan is, that Kanan's over at Famous's new house. Rock goes like, oh, how'd he get a house? Where'd they get that money from? And then she goes like, oh, they were hooked up by Crown. So Rock is like, Rock is asking those questions because they're missing money. But I don't think she thinks that it's Kanan. Juke then tells Rock that she visited her mother. And this kind of causes Rock to turn around, and she's a little concerned. Rock pretty much tells Juke that, yo, just because your mom just showed up here and she never came to see you. You found her. Families earn. Just because she's here now don't mean nothing. We've been here with you the whole time. So Juke, listens, but you can tell she's still gonna go see her mother. Okay, so now we come back to the projects. It seems like we got Marvin. Okay, so now we come back to the projects. We got Marvin. He's talking to Worrell. He's saying, yo, what happened to this money? Why is this stacked short? Worrell says he stacked the money. He put it in the closet. Everything was good. Marvin's like, yo, why are you stacking money and leaving it in the closet? You're supposed to move the money. And he's like, oh, well, back, when we did Neek's, he's like, and then this pisses Marvin off. He's like, yo, this is not Neek's situation. Where's Neek at? Neek ain't here. We do this way. We always move the money. So he pretty much tells him, yo, don't do Neek's methods or techniques. You are an autonomous association now. You're gonna do what we do. So this kind of cools down. it doesn't look like he's gonna punish Worrell for the money missing. But then he tells him, yo, can you drive a stick shift? I'm gonna need you to do another job. Next scene, we're back at the party, and Kanan's full on making out with that Kareen chick now, so I guess that's cool. Juke shows up. Kareen asks Kanan if he has a girlfriend. He says no, and she says she's his girlfriend. So I guess Kanan has a girlfriend now, woohoo! Crown comes to the party, and he's like checking out all these high school age girls. And he gives Juke a track to sing to. Now we switch to a scene with Lou and Cartier in the studio, and Cartier looks like he either provided Lou with the new board system, or he assisted him with acquiring one. It looks a lot better than the one they had before, and they're talking about business and management and stuff. And pretty much Cartier gives him some advice that, yo, your business is only as good as your team. The boss is only as good as the team. So he tells him like, hey, you gotta up the pace on these dudes. And Lou kind of takes that. And this kind of wraps back to that Crown situation. And that's why you gotta go watch that video. That's in my description. Anyway, let's go. So now we're back at the bodega, and we got Juliana, and she approaches Rock, and she tells her, yo, hey, Neek came to the store. He's just coming in here like everything's cool. That's a sign of weakness. You know, we shouldn't be allowing this to happen. Rock says, hey, we got a piece. We got to treat it as a part of the game. Leave it alone. Don't worry about it. So Juliana looks at her and says, well, I don't want to play your game. So Rock just kind of looks at her and just walks right past her, doesn't, dismisses it. And this is what I say, Rock can't like tell her to shut the hell up, because, she's the Colombian sister. So, she can, she has to listen to what she's saying, but at the same time, it's, these things, something's going to come to a head with the situation as the season keeps going. We're back at Rock's house now, and Kanan sees Juke putting together some church clothes. He asks her, oh, you going to church? And Juke pretty much tells him, yeah, I'm going to church with my mom. She says that she can't get a read on her yet, but she just wants to spend more time with her. She says that she doesn't like that she was abandoned by her, but something about when she looks into her eyes makes it feel like she's known her whole life. So it looks like she's given her that second chance. We now switch to Rock and Simph, our boy Simph, Symphony, we love Simph. They're looking at houses, and Rock's asking them questions about floorboards and carpets and stuff like that. And Simph is, he's answering the questions, but you can tell he's kind of like, he's a little sad about everything. And he's like, why am I here? He wants to have this relationship with Rock pretty much. And she's just kind of tiptoeing around it. He asked her what happened that night that he took Kanan out of state, and she just pretty much dodges that and says, I had to protect Kanan, doesn't give him the reasoning, pretty much doesn't tell him that Howard was shot. We now switch to Neek talking to someone on the phone, and this is a weird conversation. I can't tell what's going on here. He gets visited by Burke, and she kind of just eggs him on a little bit, says, oh, you're in a bad spot. Heard you got set up. Looks like you lost everything. And she says that, she's going to keep her eye on him. And Neek says, yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on you. Is there a suit that we could make for you, sweetheart? Is there anything that, we can tailor it to make sure it covers everything you have to offer? So that's a funny scene. And I always, the way Neek speaks, hey, we got to meet this boy Neek, bro. The way this guy talks, dude, he has some of the best, vocal skills to the show. I really enjoy his scenes. So we switch back to Rock, and then this is so weird because it seems like it was nighttime just now with Neek and Burke, and now it's like daylight out here back at these, in the Hamptons where they are or whatever. And it looks like, Rock is like settling on a house. She just told a lady, go make an offer, so it looks like she got like a front person, a white lady to kind of handle the business side of things, and then she's gonna get the house. Tim tells Rock, hey man, you gotta leave me alone, girl. Like you keep calling me and stuff, asking me to come help you check out floorboards. I'm trying to be with you, He says they're running in circles and it can just, probably just get worse. And Rock says, he's a grown man. You can't make him do what he doesn't want to do. And he tells her like, hey, like, one time you told me, hey, I was your vacation. He's like, but I never wanted to be your vacation. I wanted to be your home. So that was pretty, that pulled on the heartstrings a little bit. And I can't tell if this is the last time we're gonna see Simph, but I'm rooting for you, boy. Let's go. And Rock seemed like she was affected by it. Rock is so stubborn. Rock is so stubborn. Most stubborn lady in the show. But we'll see. We'll see how she feels. Okay, so now, quick scene. We got Marvin, and he's loading Worrell in a bus up with drugs. Worrell takes off with the school bus. We got Kanan and Rock at home. Quick scene, too. He's just coming down the stairs. She asks him where he's going. And he says he's going to go hang out with Famous. And she watches him through the window as he walks away. So now we got Worrell. We're back with Worrell. He's crossing that bridge. He's going into Newark, and next thing you know, stick and move, Italians show up with a shotgun pointed right in his face, take the bus, drives off with the bus and the drugs. Crazy. These guys, I'm telling you, man, soprano. Okay, so now, oh my God, and I can already tell, I already knew this was Howard's house when he pulled up, but he goes, knocks on the door, Howard opens the door, sees Kanan, and Howard is holding a Budweiser. He invites Kanan in, and crazy thing about this is we see Rock, and she's around the corner, and she can see Kanan going into his house, and you can tell she's pissed. We get a Kanan monologue, and she's just not happy. Now, think about this. We just had Juke telling her that she was going to see her mom. Now we got Kanan going to see his real dad. You know, Rock has got a lot of crazy stuff going on with her drug business with these Italians, and now she has a bunch of crazy business going on with her kids. So episode 5 should be interesting. Let's find out, guys. Thank you guys for rocking with your boy. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and put a notification bell so you know when I go live or make a new video. All right, guys, peace.